What's going on, YouTube? It's the Gracious here, back again with a PSA return. But this one is not so amazing. Actually lost money. So let's jump right into it.
But before we do that, we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Please slam the like button, hit the sub button. I greatly appreciate it. And if you are not already, go down below. First video link down below in the description is an entry to win a CGC 10 Pristine Ancient Mew. Go do it. Easy as can be to enter. Now that the dude's done shooting advertisements, let's get into me getting absolutely freaking
destroyed by Heritage Auctions and CGC trading cards.
So basically, I purchased what was $2,800 worth of Pokemon cards from Heritage Auctions, and this is them right here. So basically, what I have in front of me is my German first edition set. Not a full set, obviously. This is not that many cards. This is 10 cards that I sent in to PSA to get graded. I cracked them all from CGC slabs, let's say, in hopes of upgrading, but I knew and realized soon after they returned from Heritage to myself, I cracked them open and I was just left dumbfounded. You can go watch the video. Everything had tons of surface scratches. Every single one of these cards was a CGC 8.5. The backs, and I tell you what, the backs of each of these cards could easily get a 9.5 or 10 on edges and corners. Maybe one of these cards has a speck of whitening on the back. So when I was going through Heritage, I was looking at the front picture and the back picture. Scratches are really, really tough to see through the plastic in a front forward facing picture. You really need to work your angles to see really good scratches. So when these got here, I cracked them out, and that's when I realized a bunch of these had scratches. In the video, I said I think the Magneton's the worst. I said the Blastoise is absolutely the worst. And I knew I was going to take an L, but I had already committed. I had already cracked them, so I was like, F it. Let's just send them a PSA for the content, and let's see how bad we could get wrecked. Here we are, getting absolutely wrecked. So, all of these were CGC 8.5 near mint. Alakazam. This is now a PSA 7. 1.5 grade downgrade. So, I would say a PSA 8 and a CGC 8.5 for talking purposes are probably about the same price if I were to try and sell them into the market. Blastoise, CGC 8.5 to a 7. I am not too upset about this. The reason it got saved is because the freaking back is mint as can be. As I've said before, trying to avoid the glare, but this thing is absolutely gorgeous. Same case for my Charizard. 7. This was an 8.5. Definitely cleaner than the Blastoise. Punished. So not only did I spend a lot of money, I spent some money grading. I think this was a $30 tier level at the time. Clefairy got a 7. So every one of these is downgraded by 1.5, which is absolutely terrible. Hitmonchan with an 8. This one likely won't get sent back to CGC, but my 7s are. An 8, I was like, F it, it's good enough. I'm going to probably hold on to that. The only upgrade I saw, and after I went through the cards I got from Heritage and cracked them, I knew this one had the best shot. This one upgraded to a PSA 9. So you could see the variation of all of these 8.5s is substantial. Well, 7. So we got from a 7 to a 9 right now. Nidoking is a PSA 7 as well. Ninetales, not too shabby. Literally stayed about the same at a PSA 8. I'm so glad there's no 8.5s in here. I got a PSA 8 on the Ninetales. and I got a PSA 8 on the Poliwrath, and I got a PSA 7 on the Venusaur. So, that's really bad. The things you need to know. CGC is really generous on surface. And I hope you've come to find that out, which is why all of these got 8.5s, because I said the backs are mint. And looking at them on Heritage, I'm like, damn, let's send it and get wrecked. That's what happened. So you don't win all of them. You could very easily lose money cracking and flipping. Recently, Sports Card Investor did this. His first time, he sent $50,000 worth of cards. And he got pretty destroyed, to the fact where he had turned a BGS 9.5 into like a PSA 7. And he had to crack that thing out and resubmit it back to BGS, paying like another $300 inside the National. Like, he just got destroyed. And he won a couple things. He might have broke even at the end, but some of his best cards were downgraded. So you got to be very wise in what you're doing. Him doing it the first time wouldn't have went with $50,000, but it got clicks. Probably his most popular video he's had in a while. And yeah, so you just need to be really smart about the surface grades. Don't just be buying 8.5s thinking they're going to cross, even with the gem mint back and you can't see the scratches. Because, like I said, like my Lugia, my CGC 9 first edition Lugia, mint back, print lines out the ass. Let me tell you, it's pretty rough. I don't know what it is, but for whatever reason, they're extremely generous on surface. I'm not mad about it, because it helps me out a lot of the times when I crack PSA cards to resubmit to CGC. That's usually the more generous route to go. Getting and achieving PSA 10s is achievable. You probably want to stick with likely the 9.5s, 10s. I'm sure you can find some 8.5s out there that are mint. Depends on the grader, depends on the day. You just need to do your due diligence. You need to ask for those extra pictures, probably looking at the side angles, looking at the scratches on the cards, because Heritage, I couldn't get that with just the front view and the back view. So very unfortunate. I will be resubmitting everything that's below an 8. So all 3 starters are going to go back to CGC. I would assume I'd get above a 7 just because how freaking mint the backs are. And maybe I'm going to do subgrades just to kind of help carry it, maybe. We'll see how that goes. That might be the play I ended up doing something like that. So look forward to doing that again. Just constantly turning and burning these things like it's ridiculous. But definitely a good lesson to learn myself. I'm not always winning, obviously, and I always try to go out of my way to show you how I've learned something from my losses. This was a loss. Buying those at an auction at what seems to be just below market value. I bought all of these CGC 8.5s just below market value. The Charizard may be the best at $1,000 in an 8.5. I think the last PSA 8 sold for $1,300, so I was not doing too bad there. But when I downgraded it to a 7, right in the crapper. So I didn't lose a ton of money, but I lost a pretty decent amount if I were to sell them as is. So the 7s are going to get flipped back to CGC. I hope you guys learned something. Let me know down below if you're doing something like this, but definitely stay skeptical on some of the 8.5s and some of the CGC stuff you want to crack and sub to PSA. It seems to be much easier to upgrade without even trying, it seems, the lower grade PSA cards to higher grade CGC. So there's a play there, but just stay vigilant in what you're doing. Don't waste your money. Let me waste mine, I guess, and try and teach you something. It's an ever-ending grind. You know what I mean? So you guys have a good one.
Peace.